Hi, I'm Mayor Tim Balderman. I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Community Business Spotlight. Joining me today is Mr. Paul Pawlak, President and CEO of Silver Cross Hospital. Paul, how are you?
Yeah, thank you. Nice being here.
I'm glad you're here. Silver Cross Hospital, tell us what's going on. Tell us what's happening with the new campus.
Well, we have a lot going on, of course. Right now, we are under construction for a hospital that will have 294 inpatient beds. We have an ER that right now is seeing about 65,000 patients a year. And then on the outside, we're having about 125, 150,000 outpatients on an annual basis. And so right now we're in the midst of construction, and knock on wood, we're ahead of our budget and target. And but we're expecting an opening in March of 2012. So we got a couple more years to go.
Very good. Okay, so you've got some businesses already open, some buildings open there. Tell me what you've got going on there now.
We have an office building. We refer to it as an MOB, and that's hospital language, but nevertheless, it's a medical office building. It's 50,000 square feet, and the building is 100% occupied by physicians, ranging from orthopedics to OBGYN to ophthalmology and others. We're right now also in the midst of finalizing some agreements with our physicians, and next to the MOB will be a building that we call MSB, and that building will be approximately 200,000 square feet. The hospital will occupy about 100,000 square feet of the 200,000, and then physicians will be owning or leasing various suites in that building. So when the two buildings are done, we will have approximately 250,000 square feet that we refer to as MOB, Medical Office Building. The hospital will be 600,000 square feet, and so when it all comes together in March 2012, we'll have 900,000 square feet, 850,000 square feet, and we're anticipating with this hospital that when we do open, in some form and some shape, we'll be under continuous construction. And so what that means is that the building is being constructed in a manner that we can add 2 more floors, which means we could add another 144 more inpatient beds. And it's also been constructed in a manner that we can build another tower or 2 without impacting really the main core of the hospital.
All right. Now, how long has Silver Cross Hospital been around?
We've been around since 1895, so it's been a long time. We've been in our current location approximately, 107, 106, 108 years. And in our current location, we have 11 buildings. And so sometimes it's difficult for patients and visitors to get around because over that 100-year period, we've added 11 buildings. But with a new hospital, everything will be efficient, consolidated, organized, and people will be able to get to their destination point in a matter of a few minutes. For example, if you come to our current hospital, our ER is here, and then most of our inpatients go here, and 50% of our admissions come through the ER, but the distance between the ER, the one we're using now, and the floor here is 175 yards. Okay. So the patient is traveling 175 yards, and our staff is traveling 350 yards. So that pretty much for us is downtime, and we much rather have our staff spend that time with our patients. In a new hospital, our ER will be here, and you just take an elevator, and you're going to be at your patient room, just like that.
There.
Yeah.
So tell us why the new location, why New Lenox?
Well, Mr. Mayor, as you know, New Lenox is one of the fastest growing areas in all of Chicago. And to be honest with you, we lucked into this. About 7 years ago, we wanted to buy some real estate in Frankfurt, and there's a plot of land that a farmer owned, and he said, well, you just can't buy this one plot of land, you have to buy 2 others. And the other plot was in Frankfurt, and then the third was where the hospital is being built. And so we bought the land in March of 2004, and then the governor then announced they're going to build 355. And guess what? It all kind of made sense that we do something. But at that time, we really didn't know what we wanted to do. We looked at probably 6, 7, 8 different options, and then we finally settled on this one, which really makes the most sense.
Absolutely. At 355 and 6, it is a great location, and really just a few miles down the road from your current location.
That's right. It's about 3.5 miles. And what we've been doing is visiting various hospitals across the United States who have made the move, where they went from one hospital to another hospital. And we just recently visited a hospital in Florida about the same size as Silver Cross that made the move in about 14 hours.
Wow.
And that's something, because we're probably going to move, I'm guessing, maybe 100 patients. The ER will have to be shut down, and the ER surgery will have to be shut down. But we've got to plan it just in case the patient comes to either location, we can service that person.
Very good. Now tell us, who else will you be partnering with over at the new campus?
Yeah, we have several partners right now. Our first partner is Children's Memorial, and right now they are building a new hospital in Chicago, and their new hospital is going to be $1 billion.
Wow.
Ours is only 400, but theirs is $1 billion. And in our MOB, the first building that's opened up now, they have 13,000 square feet, and they also have a 10-year lease, so they're going to be with us for a while. And they probably have 20 to 25 subspecialists practicing in pediatrics. And these are subspecialties that we never had in Will County before. And so it really is a nice move for all of us in New Lenox, and particularly of Will County, to have them with us. And so we're looking forward to that. And what we're trying to do right now is interface our services. And so what that means is if you have an X-ray or an MRI, either at Children's or at Silver Cross, we'll be able to share that information because we now have digital capabilities with that type of technology. And what will happen ultimately is that it'll save children who need to go downtown. Sometimes they won't have to go downtown because their doctor and the test results will be here in New Lenox at Silver Cross Hospital.
Very good. Let's shift gears a little bit. We hear all the time that Silver Cross is a top 100 hospital for many years running. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. We are a top 100. We've done it 5 years in a row. There is only 8 hospitals in the United States that have done that. And basically what that means is that when you come to our hospital is safer. You're going to have a better outcome as far as infectious modes. You're going to be able to get home quicker. So what it basically means is that for all of our patients, we are going to do the right thing at the right time on a very consistent level. Now you'll see some hospitals advertise that they're great in cardiology and they're great in neurology, what have you, but that's a different mode where you really basically have to pay for that advertisement, and we don't want to pay, and we think that we're excellent when it comes across the mode. So we're anticipating probably to repeat it a couple more times, but as far as I know right now, there is only 3 hospitals that have won it 5 or 6 times in a row in the state of Illinois, and that's Lutheran General, which is in Park Ridge, and then Evanston Hospital, which is now called North Shore. And if you're traveling with those 2 hospitals, you're in good company.
I would say.
But if I may go back, Mr. Mayor,
Sure.
We do have another affiliation that I'd like to bring up.
Sure.
And that is our relationship with the Rehabilitation Institute of Chicago. And everyone calls it RIC. And of course it's located in Chicago, and it is the #1 rehabilitation hospital in the entire United States. And they've had that status since 1992. And we now have an arrangement with them where they'll be managing our inpatient and outpatient facilities. At the same time, they will have a physiatrist, which is a physician that specializes in physical medicine, on our campus 5 or 6 days a week. And all the latest protocols and all the latest research that they produce, they will now really transport to Silver Cross. And so we will not be an ordinary community hospital that has to wait, let's say, 5 or 6 years to get those new results. We will get it after they've approved it. So we've really moved up in a notch in the world when it comes to rehab medicine. And they really have some very big plans for Silver Cross and RIC on our campus since we have 73 acres. Well, if I may, our customer service just didn't happen. About 10 years ago, we used a tool called Press Ganey, and it's a survey that rates your customer service. And then what you do is you compare your results against maybe 2,000 hospitals in the area. And when we did this 10 years ago, we were low, but we made a concentrated effort to spend a lot of time and attention, as well as education. And now consistently, whether it's an ER, inpatient or outpatient or ambulatory surgery, we are now in the top 10% in the country. And as we both know, this is the easy part when you try to score. This is the hard part, is when you reach the peak and you want to maintain that. And we spend a lot of time on that. But to go back to your back surgery, I don't know if you read the newspaper recently, but Blue Cross now has designated Silver Cross as a hospital of distinction for back surgery and hip replacements and joint surgery. And they just don't pass that out to every hospital in the state of Illinois. And so we're very pleased to get that distinction too.
Well, congratulations on that and all of your success. Your reputation certainly is very well known. Our whole region was excited about this new campus, the state-of-the-art campus that you're bringing here. Anything else that you'd like to tell our viewers today about Silver Cross?
Well, we've been around for a long time, and for that period of time, we spent many, many years in Joliet, and Joliet was very good to the hospital. But as we grew, we needed more land, as you pointed out earlier. And so we're continuing to look forward to working with Joliet. But you pointed out earlier in your remarks that we are a regional hospital or a Will County hospital. And that's true because right now, about 53% of all our patients come from areas outside of Joliet. And that area is growing. And for the last 6-7 years, we have been the fastest growing medical surgical hospital in the state of Illinois. And we've really actually have doubled our size in 10 years. And I expect in the next 10 years, we will double our size again. My biggest concern is, will we have the financial capability to keep up with the demand? Because with the location being a top 100 in our customer service, I think we got all the right combinations. And our challenge is to keep all that high quality, and most importantly, is to keep our culture intact, the one that we're very proud of right now.
Absolutely, and that's why we here at the Village support Silver Cross, because comments were made that, well, that's a prime location for retail. Well, there's plenty of room for retail up there, but we have an obligation to make sure that this is a well-rounded community, and I can't think of anything more important than providing quality health care for our residents. We've got great education here in New Lenox. We've got great recreation. We try and provide great services. We've got great families that live here. And now to have a state-of-the-art medical facility for our people and beyond, I'm just really very, very pleased to be welcoming Silver Cross to New Lenox.
Well, I've been there almost 20 years, and I'm really pleased with the progress that we've made. I know our board is, and our medical staff is, and I'm really excited to see what we're going to look like 10 years from now.
Well, Paul, I want to thank you for being here, and we're certainly going to have you back as the campus progresses and talk a little bit more about what's happening. And on behalf of the staff and the board here in New Lenox, and certainly all of our residents, we're glad that you're on time, moving ahead on schedule.
Yeah, me too.
And we're excited about it.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks
for
very
spending time
much.
with me.
Nice spending time with you always.
Take care.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you. And I want to thank all of you for watching this edition of Community Business Spotlight.